Alright, cool, that's good. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. It's freezing out here in LA today. How you guys living? We got one more day to knock this controller out. Did I say Saturday? I meant Sunday. Is it Saturday or Sunday? I don't know. Every day seems like the same day nowadays. Either way, yep, it is Sunday. I've got to finish this controller up today because I told them that we were going to mail it out tomorrow. And so that puts me in a little bit of a rush because I still got to get this thing to dry before I start to pack it up. So with that said, I've got to start finalizing everything. Let me show you guys where I'm at. I know some of you guys have been following me from the beginning, so thank you for that. But this is like my finalizing coat today. I'm hoping to maybe drop in another hour to an hour and a half at most to finish this guy up. And this has been a very interesting challenge. I always forget how difficult it is to paint on plastic, man. So just some things that I've actually added here is I left the Keeping It Gucci logo like on the bottom here. Still kind of finalizing that out, but I'm giving that first coat that time to kind of melt in. Started to have more of a pinstripe kind of a look around the edges, and I'm doing that just to give it more of a New York Knicks kind of a vibe. So that's going to trail all the way across, go all the way through, and all the way underneath. Almost just like a highlight, you know what I mean? Speed Infusion, what's good, man? Thank you for the bit, bro. Yo, Dog, what's good, man? I told you, man. Sometimes we miss you guys at the family barbecue, bro, and if you gotta work, you gotta work, right? The mic sounds strange? Hey, man, at least we have a mic, bro. It's better than not having a mic anymore. You know? When people actually donate, I can hear it, which makes me feel a little bit better. How's that look, guys? So, yeah, we still gotta, you know, finalize a little bit of the blemishes that I have here and there. So today I'm going to be working with a couple of different brushes. The brush that I've been primarily working with is the Princeton. Where is this guy at? I had another Princeton brush around here. Of course, it'd be completely lost when I'm going to try to present it to you guys. 1 second here. Here it is. It's on the other table. Hold on. Man, me and this brush right here have been pretty close over the last day or so. This is a 1/8 inch Princeton Select Petite angular shader. Usually you use an angular shader to get in like little tight cracks, little spots where it's really kind of difficult to get in, and that little angular tip there really helps out because you can make nice lines and drag lines and out of corners easy. So one thing that I always forget to do is clean this brush off, and today I'm using GAC 200, which is like, and when it gets on the brush and it dries, it does not want to come off. So really important if you guys are working with GAC. God, I'm over here preaching, but I always do the same thing. I never clean it off. I just finished on this brush, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, if you guys ever use this GAC 200 and you mix it with the paint, you really want to make sure you clean the brush off because the bristles can get all messed up, all jagged, and you won't have a nice smooth stroke with them anymore, you know? So yeah, so with that said, let me show you guys what I'm working with today. Last couple of days I've been working with that brush. Today I'm going to be working with a little bit bigger of a brush. This one is also a Princeton Select, and this one's an angular shader as well, but it's a 3/8 inch, so it's a bigger tip over here, and I'm doing that because bigger panel, I can get away with a little bit bigger line, bigger paint. you know, to really just embellish all of the lines on this guy. So I'm working with the bigger brush here, and I'm really just trying to get it on that tip end there, okay? So for example, I could see here that I got to still fill in lines. So we'll just place that down just like that. And you just kind of want to be very focused when you do this part. For me, this is really a test of how good your pressure is with the brush. So just kind of going around the curves and, you know, really taking your time. This is not something that should be rushed, especially if you're trying to get a nice, even kind of a line. Yo, Speed Infusion, thanks for the resubscription. Appreciate that, man. That's dope, man. I didn't know that you guys could do that. So if you guys didn't know, you can actually subscribe to our Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime. And I think it's free, right? Is that correct, Speed Infusion? I forgot all about that. I was thinking the other day that if you ever learn how to weld, this is kind of like what you're doing right here. You're just kind of beating a line on all of the edges. So you just got to be, once you're done with it, really careful with where you're putting the edges down and then not to touch them again. I do that all the time because when you get to this point of finalizing it, everything looks the same. You can hardly tell which part you just finished. So just be conscious of where we're working here. But yeah, if you ever welded before, this is what welders do. They just take a line and they beat it all the way across until they tack that whole metal surface down. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Oh, did you say microphone sounds weird? Oh, my bad. How am I sounding, guys? I just saw, I looked up right now and Speed Infusion said the mic sounds weird. What up, Punky B? What's good, man? Dylab JC900 and 2Soft is the same thing, homie. Vel's Custom Kicks, what's good, man? You back? You are back in the building, bro. Vels, how you been, man? We got Charhov 18. What's good? Oh man, I just realized, guys, we gotta switch over to this multi-stream. We're streaming live in different spots today. So let me see if I can get that. It's not showing multi-stream today, yo. Yo, Speed Infusion, for some reason the other chats aren't showing up. I'm seeing are you guys all on Twitch? Can you guys let me know if you guys are all on Twitch? I want to make sure that we got our Facebook fam on, that we got YouTube fam on. We've got a different number of channels we're streaming on, and I just want to make sure everybody gets to hang out and chill, you know, especially on a nice Sunday like this. So I noticed that the paint was starting to dry a little bit. Whoa, it fell. No. When the paint's starting to dry, you can actually add a little bit of GAC, or you could add a little bit more paint, either way, just to dilute it a little bit. Let's give that a little mix here. Graham, what's good, man? How you living? Alright, so that should be straight. Go ahead and put that guy down. Alright, so which brush were we working on? Getting a little bit bigger of a a line around all the edges, you know what I mean? Alright, and again, trying to keep an idea of where did I work? Yesterday I was just working on the front, so then that way I wouldn't press into the back. So today my goal is finish up the front and then get to the back section as well. Sometimes I like to keep this brush kind of further away because it gives me an idea of what this beaded line is going to look like from far away, because that's important, right? Obviously people are going to take a look at it closely, but if it looks bad from far away, then it's definitely not going to look good when it's close. But I like this whole pinstripe here because it definitely gives that NYX kind of a vibe. And it gets all the corners too at the same time. I get to give it a kind of a drip look as well. It doesn't need to be perfect. That's what's great about it. You know, you can actually be imperfect here. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose this Gucci Ghost theme over doing like a really symmetrical print. Because if you got a symmetrical print and you have to do this over and over and over, man, it is very tough to get every single GG and every single star to be exactly where it should be. This gives you a little bit of freedom. You get a little bit of range of, you know what, if it's not perfect, it's okay, because the whole point of this guy here is that it should be hand painted. It should look hand painted, you know? That's the whole theme. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for a drip, imperfection. But at the same time, everything on the design is still balanced. There's not one spot that's kind of overtaking another. Obviously the print is loud, but that was the whole purpose, right? These guys wanted a loud print. Flight School was good, man. Man, a lot of Patreon folks making it today. Let's see, who's Patreon family in the building right now? We got GT Chong, Vale's Custom Kicks, Flight School. Shout out to you guys. Dilab, you're also Patreon as well. Shout out Dilab. Oh man, I just read what you just wrote, Dilab. You just dropped off a pair of Jordan 1s that you made for a customer. I'm starting to think the nerves never go away. It was one that had full creative control over, so he hadn't seen them until I dropped them off today. Man, that's yeah, man, that anxiety definitely builds up, especially like this guy hasn't seen this either, so I don't know if this is kind of what they're envisioning or if it's their style. But you know, you just got to be confident in yourself, man. Sometimes if you go with your gut instinct, you know, the gut's not going to steer you wrong. It's kind of part of the fun part, actually, of unveiling and unboxing, you know, is that you get the opportunity to surprise somebody. Like I mentioned it the other day. I'm like, how many times have you gotten a present, like when you were a kid, when you got a present, for example, like a video game system, like a PS5, you're going bonkers, right? Like, because you couldn't wait to like have a system like that. It was a big gift. And I don't know how many times you guys get that same kind of excitement when you get a gift nowadays. But I feel like making a custom anything like this, shoes, you know, a painting, it can really give that person that feel of when they were a kid again, you know, because it's so it's very impactful. It could be very personal. You know, the person knows that you like Gucci, that you like the Knicks, and you're here trying to surprise them with something that's so unexpected, which is why I think this can actually give that same kind of satisfaction from when you were younger. And I don't think there's a lot of things that I could say that do that for me now. Like maybe if I got like a house or, you know, like a new car, those are some things that kind of would make me like, yeah, ecstatic. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I love getting a new car. But yeah, getting something that's kind of like this is, you know, the person put some kind of thought and emphasis into what you'd really like. Tagged myself with that orange. Happens. So yeah, Dada, you know, back to your whole point of nerves, man. I always have nerves too, dude. It's kind of the fun of doing what you do. And then eventually you'll learn that your skills have come up so much that like you're not nervous no more. You know, it's like an NBA player going into a basketball game. Like they've practiced so many times, so many jumpers, that like when they're on that court, it's not like they don't look at fans looking at them. They're just worried about what's going on with the game. That's where you're going to be. I think this kind of stuff will help you out too, you know, because now you get to see like a first-hand experience of like, you know, day in and day out of what I do. And then sometimes I think a lot of customers don't understand how long something like this can actually take. It's taking me 5 days, dude, you know? And I'm sure there's other customizers out there that they're better hand painters than me. They're quicker than me. So this might not be like exactly my bag. But I'll tell you, I put a lot of heart into doing it. I know that much. I could have stopped this yesterday if I really wanted to. But I can't do that. I gotta finish off strong, right? The goal of every custom is to finish off where the customer is just astounded, their jaws on the floor, because they're like, yo, like the detail work is nuts on it, you know? They can appreciate the time that was put forth. Unfortunately, not every customer is going to be like that, so that's a lesson that you should probably learn right now, dude. Some people will just say, nah, that would have taken me like a day, because they're not in your shoes. Just a heads up, guys, I switched brushes up here. Reason being that now I'm jumping on the little stars, and again, they're a smaller piece of art here compared to those big panels that we were just working on. So now I'm looking for any spots that have any overspray, that look fuzzy. Again, kind of making sure I'm not jamming my thumb onto some fresh paint at the same time. And then after this I could seal everything up, but before I seal everything up, I gotta make sure the whole print is like dead on perfect, you know? Sealing it is like your last step. This needs to be sanded a little bit. So in the process, as you know, the paint dries on here, because we've got that GAC 200, the paint will dry on your brush pretty easy. I like to just have a little bit of cleaner, just clean it out. Start with a nice fresh brush. Bristles feel good, you know, feel natural. That'll lay out the paint a little bit easier for you too. All right, Let me just check the comments real quick, guys. I love that everybody knows each other, man. Superman Lover, the Dye Lab. Y'all been on for a minute now, so I know you guys are pretty much friends, right? Speed Infusion said, well, yeah, because they don't know what they're going to get. It's the feeling of genuine surprise. Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly what you just said, man. The feeling of genuine surprise. It's not something that comes as often as it used to when you were a kid, you know? I think because you just we're like living life longer, and the more we get different experiences, you know, the more we grow up and expect, I think, bigger things. But this kind of stuff is cool. Like even putting his nickname on the side. You know, I don't know how many of you guys have nicknames, but just having a nickname and having it on an item that was personalized for you is a really cool thing, you know? People usually have pride in their nicknames, and this is his gamer nickname, so like even more so. I really like the idea of putting his gamer name on there. So my goal today is to hit every single star with this last coat of paint, yo. And the reason I'm trying to do every single star is because not every single star is the same color orange. Since I've been working in so many different sessions, I've got to go back and I've just got to color in every star just to make sure that like that last final shade looks good, you know? We've done a lot of airbrushing on this guy. Some stars have overspray on them. Some need to be fixed. And man, I didn't realize it when I took the job on, but you just can't hand paint this blue. And so like touching up the blue sucked. It was really tough. And so now I know that. I know for the next gig, if I ever run into plastic, you need to take that into account. So a lot of you guys asked about pricing. How much do you charge somebody? Like what's a fair price to charge somebody? One of the Patreon members the other day asked, you know, he actually sent me pictures of his work. Work was looking incredible. And he said, hey man, how much would you charge for this? And what he did was, you know, pretty much same cobbler machine we're using, the Singer machine. He was using the knockoff version of it, the Chinese clone version from Amazon, and he was taking the swooshes off of the Air Force Ones, switching them up for like Dior swooshes or any luxury brand, Gucci, whatever, and then he was doing the same with the toe cap. So you can imagine that, right? Like an all-white Air Force One, and he's just taking the swooshes off and the front toe cap, switching it for luxury fabric. I'm sure you guys have seen that. All you guys are pretty much sneakerheads and customizers in here, so y'all know what that looks like, I'm sure. He asked, how much do you charge? How much would you charge for that, you know? And my simple answer to him was I always try to give somebody an estimate based on time. Just like when you're working at your job, they're not going to pay you one amount one day and then a different amount the next day, right? It's you've set your amount, you're getting paid 17 an hour or 20 an hour, whatever it is. You know, they don't negotiate that rate afterwards. You've now been given that rate every time you come in. So same thing for this. You know, if you're trying to become a full-time customizer, you need to realize your time. So all these people who are like on, you know, Instagram or whatever, doing $50 customs, $70 customs, like, how much time do you think that person is really going to put into your custom, you know? Usually if I see that amount for 50 or 75, it's kind of more of a red flag for me. I'm like, yo, that's too cheap. Some of y'all are getting ripped off because you're sending money through Zelle and this and that and all these different, you know, platforms that you guys don't have any kind of control of if you get scammed. And it's not the scammer's fault. They're choosing that platform for that reason. So y'all got to be, you know, careful with who you do your customs with. find drips. Drip, 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 drip. Alright. So that's good. Give this a second to breathe out. Man, talk about my Civic one more time, Speed Infusion. I gotta look at the chat, and that's the first thing I read is about my Civic. Leave my Civic alone, bro. Oh, Flight School said chicken. Chicken man. I was like, what? I'm not exactly sure what chicken man means. Maybe he's calling me a chicken head, and then I saw chillin', so we're good. Flight School. By the way, a couple of people on YouTube don't know if you can see the comments. Crap, I knew you were saying that, bro. And I don't think... Oh, guess what? Multi-stream jumped back on. We're good now. I got to go up and say what's up. Let me see on YouTube. Go Sauce, what's good? Sorry about that, man. Multi-stream sometimes takes a little bit to kick in, so I could see you there. Who else we got? Simon says... That's facts. Never go against your gut in anything. Intuition is real. Absolutely, man. I'm glad to hear you're on the same page. What else we got? Oh, dude, I've been working the regular job on weekends. No restores, nothing, dude. Man, it's I don't know, man. Sometimes it's a gift and a curse. You know, I'm like, for example, today I'm like, man, I don't want to work on Sunday. You know, but I know that I got to finish it up. And so sometimes I do want to relax. And so today's not one of those days. Wifey was super happy with that. She's like, you're working on Sunday? I mean, gotta finish it up, yo. It's this dude's birthday or something. It's a special event if he's getting something. And I told him last week, so. Guys, just a heads up, I just got in touch with you guys on YouTube now. So if you left a comment, I didn't answer you. That's my bad. Just now getting to see the whole stream on both Twitch. I see you guys on YouTube now, and I think Facebook should be on too. I believe so. Oh man, you eating some pizza, bro? I had some Papa John's yesterday. No joke, man. Their garlic sauce on Papa John's is just nuts. I gotta have Papa John's with their sauce. Otherwise, I feel like I've been cheated. I'm hella late to the chat. Y'all probably done moved on. Man, we talking about video games over here, bro. You talking about pizza still? Yeah, tough crowd, man. Why y'all rude about it? Oh, stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut, man. I gotta check that out. I haven't had Pizza Hut for a long time. Alright, so let's get back on this little guy here. Alright, so I did one layer right here on this, keeping it Gucci. So we're gonna go back and do layer number 2. Now this is, man, this part, I ain't gonna lie, man, it is not easy to do because you got a bit of curves there, and I gotta really concentrate when I get at that curve, you know. When I get to this kind of a point, I really want to make sure I'm not putting too much paint on the brush. You know, that's the last thing I want. I want to just get a nice amount where I can see a drip on the brush. And you got to be real straight with all your lines. I could also feel that this paint is starting to dry, so I got to be conscious of maybe I need to mix some new paint soon. Especially if this starts looking clumpy, you know. That's a sure sign that we need to change the paint out. Right now it's still flowing though, so I'm going to keep going. As I'm doing this, I'm just really trying to hit only the orange. I don't want to try to fix this up afterwards, you know what I mean? This should be like a nice clean layer, so all the letters need to be nice and profound. have organization to them, have about the same thickness and line, and that's really just how much pressure you're putting on the brush. Like once you get that like pressure locked in, you just got to hold that going down the line. So I'm going down the line with the same amount of pressure. That should yield about the same line going the whole way down. By the way, I didn't mention this. I like to kind of do this from the top down like this. Almost like you're dropping it right on top at a 90-degree angle there. I feel like that's the easiest way to get nice straight lines. When you get good at this, you're going to just be improving all of your hand painting too. This is like real detail, nitty-gritty kind of stuff, but you'll get more confident in yourself. And then you want to take on bigger projects and challenges. Ryan, I haven't forgot about your stencils, man. I'll jump on those later today, okay? Just kind of giving you a heads up. Obviously, you could see I've been busy with this project, and I told the guy I'm going to get it out by tomorrow, so I've got to get this now sealed by tonight. And early in the night, not like 3 in the morning kind of a deal. See, it curves right here, so I gotta just be conscious of that. When it curves, you gotta just kind of make sure you're really paying attention to where that paint lands. Again, just going top down so I can get a good visual of where that paintbrush is landing, where the paint's landing. If you feel like when you paint you gotta hold your breath, that's pretty normal. Unfortunately, it's pretty normal. A lot of people get like really nervous and want to hold their breath when they paint. And I used to do that too, and after some time I'm like, yo dude, I gotta just breathe and just paint. If I mess up, I mess up, and then we'll clean it up afterwards. That's the reality of it, you know. But yeah, I used to be hella stressed out. I'm like, dude, I can't mess this up. No more. I've messed up too many times to feel like that now. That's probably why. Just give a little bit of a beating on a couple of these guys. Let's see. Looking for like more flat surfaces going laterally, because in that way I can make the drip look natural. Alright, let's give that a little bit of time to breathe. And let's see what you guys are talking about. I hope it's not pizza still. If I get back on this chat and I see you guys talking about pizza, bro. I still remember my Pizza Hut's local phone number. That's how long I used to eat Pizza Hut. Oh man, Dialab lives in Chicago. They're supposed to have some really bomb Chicago pizza, man. Deep dish. Don't do USPS. Oh man, dude, Graham, thank you for mentioning that. Actually, speaking of, I did the most bonehead move that I want to share with you guys that I probably shouldn't share with you guys because it was such a bonehead move. Oh man! So you guys know the Allen Iversons that I was working on for like the whole like last 2 weeks with you guys on Twitch. I ended up packing them up, dropping the label on, and then I took it to USPS. How about it was a UPS label, and the thing was showing not tracking for like a week, and so I was freaking out because my homie was like, "Yo, man, shoes haven't arrived," and he lives 100 miles away, so they should be there in like 2 days, 3 days at most. And then I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go head to USPS later today, and I'll ask the person." And that's when he was like, "Dude, that was a that was a UPS label." And then I was like, "Wow, the donkey of the day, man. That's all me right now." So, long story short, I lucked out today. They ended up actually changing the tracking. So just for you guys to know, if that ever happens to you, if you guys ever like send something out to USPS on accident and it has a UPS label, I guess that's a pretty common error. And what USPS does with UPS, they have a driver actually come by and pick up all those packages. But the thing is that like it's not like right away sometimes. Sometimes it'll be in 2 or 3 days, and then they'll scan it into their system. So that might take another day. And so your package will, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but your package is supposed to be delayed basically when that happens to you. So yeah, I should definitely pay better attention next time, and maybe I should sleep a little bit more too. That just sounds like mentally I was just not there, A really silly mistake. But I'll tell you, waking up in the morning and seeing that my homie was like, "Yo, it looks like it'll be here tomorrow," was very like, for lack of better words, like stress relieving. Thank the Lord, man. Imagine you send some shoes out, you worked on them for like this long, and then no one can find them because your dumbass ended up sending it in the wrong carrier. That's me. That's me. Oh well, it's all good, man. Everybody makes mistakes, right? The good thing is I didn't have to make another pair of customs for dude. And I know he's expecting those customs because he's only like a younger kid. He's like only like 10 or 11 years old. So for him, he's probably like, "Dude, this guy's taking forever," and has no clue like what we did to those shoes. Alright, so I gotta still finish a little bit of this spot here. Over here you guys could see that it's like blued out, and it's blued out because I went back in to touch up stuff here. It was either like really fuzzy, there was overspray in the section, so I just went back in and repainted that little section, just a minor touch up, and now we're just re-adding that orange in there. Alright, I might have to mix a little bit more paint, guys. It looks like it's on that way out, you know what I mean? And you can tell because as I'm laying it out, it's becoming really clumpy on this brush. So let me just lay out a little bit more. I don't necessarily even need to put in that GAC 200, but just in case, if you feel a little safe to do it. We've got so many layers on here now, it's kind of like the last layer, you know what I mean? So, Graham, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, UPS will definitely be the way to go there. Pizza Hut is the way to go. I haven't had Pizza Hut for years, dude. Dipping it with ranch, Graham, is the very dad thing to do. Now I know you're a dad. Because at some point you're just like, you know what, ranch is bad for me, but I don't care. because pizza's also bad for me. So let's just get at it. Yeah, I definitely do ranch with pizza too, man. I try to limit it to just a slice though, because otherwise I feel like I gotta go hit the gym up afterwards. Nobody wants to eat pizza and then go to the gym immediately afterwards, right? Alright. Knocking some of this paint off these guys here at the same time. Oh, and barbecue sauce. Man, Dilab, you're crazy with it, bro. What is good though is, I don't know if you guys had the barbecue chicken pizzas. That's really bomb. Especially when it's a little spicy. Dang, if you guys are really talking about the pizza though, dang. Anyone heard of mambo sauce? Nope. Staple of the DMV, huh? Yo, DMV, what does that even stand for, man? I always see DMV area. But I've never questioned what it stands for. Never seen it. Oh, K1 Polos in the building. What's up, man? How you living, doggy? A lot of Twitch folks in the building today, huh? It's like lumpia sauce. Is that like an Asian sauce, Graham? And I'm not trying to be racist either, bro. Lumpia sauce? I've never heard of that before. It's only online sales or native to district area DC. Oh, okay. Interesting. It's like a sweet chili sauce. That does kind of sound like almost like what you would get with like a Thai food or something. Oh, sweet and sour pork, yep. Concentrating hard, and we're here discussing pizza. For real, man. Y'all about that pizza life, man, that's for sure. It's important. But okay, gotcha. Okay, so no shipping USPS. Thank you. And you know it's funny, man. I have lost so many of our orders through USPS right now, especially since the whole pandemic hit. We never had issues sending stuff out, and all of a sudden, ever since February, March hit, man, it's just been. And I'm not even mad at. I know there's a lot of people who are upset at USPS, and I think you guys need to, you know, take a chill pill, because it's not their fault. You know, they've been shorthanded. They're not getting the same amount of attention and employees that normally work there. They're disgruntled as well. You know, it's frustrating, man. I've been there when there's a higher power that's telling you guys, yo, we gotta, like, you know, cut the fat a little bit. We're gonna have to tighten up on hours, whatever they say, and it can become mentally and emotionally draining for everybody, dude. So, I mean, I've seen some people around LAX area and stuff, like, for example, they've got tons of packages that are like still unscanned because of the whole situation. So, Graham, I feel you on that. I will take you up on that offer. What's the minimum you charge for a custom shoe, JP? That's a great question. The way I work is I just charge a day rate. My day rate is $300 a day, and usually, you know, just prepping and stuff like that in itself can take around 2 or 3 hours. You know, this took quite some time to do, prepping the controller, and then also please keep in mind, like, I've been doing this for quite some time, so like for me, I think experience should count. You know, how you're doing just overall with your customer service, how your work speaks for other people. There's a lot of factors that come into play, but also, you know, like we were talking about earlier, like if you're charging $10 an hour to become, you know, a customizer full time, you have to really think about, man, I'm making like $50 a day, and how is it that I'm going to survive on that amount of, you know, money? At least in LA, you're not going to survive on that kind of money. In other parts of the US, possibly. But I'm just thinking for your guys' health and benefit mentally, you know, y'all should be trying to charge at least some kind of an amount where you could survive, and then just increase your amounts as you feel fit. That's what a lot of the Patreon members are doing. A lot of the Patreon members, I think they have an interest in doing reconstructions and just learning, you know, new different projects that they're not able to do yet for either lack of information or they don't know the approach. But, you know, that's what we're doing it on Patreon. because those dudes they're dedicated. Now I'm just kind of doing the back end here. You're like, duh, we see. We're discussing pizza, bro. Leave us alone. Y'all got me so hungry, dude. All I've had today to eat was coffee in the morning and grapes right now. And I got a cup of water up here that I've been meaning to drink. But I gotta get an ample amount of this controller done before I get some water, I think. At least get a layer on here, you know? A nice fresh layer. I like this easel because it helps me kind of like hold my balance when I'm working on the back here. And it can help me guide the brush. Gives you like a nice edge. You can make nice straight lines with it. So that's why I'm holding the brush kind of far away from me and then trying to get that edge in. This is all detail work, so it takes time. Again, I wish I had a better idea of how much time this would have taken. That would have been nice, but you know, this is again a learning experience for me. Taking something away from it is valuable in itself, right? Woo-wee! Let's go. When the project's all done, you want all of the orange lines to be nice and popping, you know? When you have a nice orange print and it's all nice and clean, it looks great, you know? So for me, I'll take the time to go over every single edge and line, and this is a indication of your craftsmanship, you know? So you should be proud of your work. You can see here I'm like, just flip the controller, and that kind of helps me get in different sections without having to touch the controller, as there's different parts that are drawing, and the way I'm kind of using this method here, it helps me get right where I need to without really doing too much work. I don't have to hold the controller, it's kind of being held in a nice angle, and I can just do my work. You guys can see that I'm using both hands when I do this too. That just helps stabilize the brush for me a little bit. I've just got like a finger underneath it. See? Finger underneath it, and I'm just kind of very slowly, my goal is just to get all the edges to look nice and clean. The stars should all look like continuous. All of the lines should look nice and clean. All the G's should look clean. And then we can seal this guy off. Another thing we haven't even really started on was the edges. We got to clean all the edges up. We got to clean around the buttons. So this has some time before we really knock it out. Trying to keep a nice, even, clean line on every single stroke. These are all drips here, so just trying to make them real thin from the beginning and then trail them up. The best part is you could be shaky on that part, you know, kind of like how it would be kind of oozing down a wall, almost like slime. This last layer, I'm laying it a little bit heavier than all the other coats that I've done. And I'm doing that on purpose because I want it to look like it has that raised texture that an actual paint project should have. Woo-wee! Let's go. Let me take a quick sec to check the chat. Outcast, what's good, man? Outcast joining in the building on Twitch. What's good, sir? Everybody knowing each other is a great thing, man. Just tuned in and heard you talking about pricing. Yeah, no, for sure, JP. It's a great question. You know, it's kind of like the question that a lot of beginning customizers ask, like, what should I charge? I don't feel like there's a real answer for that. You know, there's not like oh, you definitely got to charge this. It's got to be more of a, what's your experience like? Do you have any experience as an artist? You know, those are things that people should take into consideration as well. You might have been doing tattoo work, for example. You know, if you did tattoo work, it's very similar to doing different kinds of sketch designs or, you know, realistic portraits. So, you know, you've already got that experience. So I feel like that person should charge more than somebody who doesn't have experience doing portraits. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you got to take time into consideration because, you know, if you worked on this thing for like 17 days and got paid $100, you're going to have to divide that, and then you'll get your average cost. And if it's like super low, then you're shorting yourself, right? Either that or you got to improve the efficiency on how you do your customs. I mean, heck, I even talked about how I messed up on this thing and how I could have saved a day or two if I had just covered off all of the other side of the stencil. If I had done all the Gucci prints and stars and placed them all down, and then after that I painted the actual controller blue, I could have peeled off all of the stickers afterwards, all the stencils, and then we could have done this hand painting. That would have saved me a whole day, at least. But, you know, I didn't think about it, so, you know, next time around, that if I ever have to paint anything plastic, I got that in my back pocket. Every drip's got to be like nice and clear. It can't look half-assed, so even those little things like that got to be consistent on paint. By the way, guys, sorry about last stream, man. My computer decided it should definitely update right in the middle of my damn stream. And then it was one of those updates that was like, please wait. And I'm sitting there waiting for like 20 minutes. I'm like, yo, like, how long? You didn't want to give me an estimate or nothing? So I had to wait for like 20 minutes before I jumped back on. And I know some of you guys jumped back on with me, so I appreciate y'all. But it was, at that point, it was pretty late too at night. It's probably like 1 in the morning for some of you guys on the East Coast. And then some of you guys at, you know, different parts of the country, I don't know what time it was. There's a canvas artist named James Lewis. He's an amazing artist with the brush. And he always does these kinds of prints as well. Different prints, different characters. I love that we have progress to the point we're almost done, man. It's a great feeling to finish up a project, right? Especially one that's taking a long time. I got so many projects lined up for you guys. It's freaking crazy. I've got to work on a pair for the baby, and I haven't even started on those. I've had those for like a month, 2 months, maybe even longer, just sitting there. It's like, sorry dude, I mean, you're human too. Everybody's human, man. I gotta take it in order of whenever I get the shoes. I'm not gonna sit there and jump on shoes because of status. So I'm debating on if I should put that on Twitch and YouTube as well. Let me know if you guys want to see just the progress of it. You know, I think that pair is going to take a long time. I envision it being very artful, and usually when my dumbass says that, it means it's going to take a long time. I do want him to be happy with the pair, so that's definitely something I take into consideration too, right? Mecca, what's good? I like how everybody in Twitch is talking about pizza, and everybody in YouTube's probably like, what are you guys talking about, yo? My wife has a candle business and sets up USPS pickups from the house. Anytime it's a UPS label, they bring it back. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that, Outcast. That's also good to know, man. I had no clue. Hey, Paul D, what's good, man? Looking good. Thank you. Is JC 2002 Hearts same thing, just different brand? That's correct. I usually use... Oh, by the way, if you guys need links, scroll all the way up to the comments. I have the links for everything that we've used so far on this guy here. This is what A. Paul D is asking about. This is kind of like a glue for paint. If that even makes sense, right? They're both liquidy, right? But you mix this in half and half, the GAC 200, and that promotes film hardness on plastic stuff like this. But I like this one because it has one of these little caps. That makes things so much easier to pour and stuff for me. I don't know. And then also because I think this is cheaper in the 8 ounce. I like to just pick up an 8 ounce, and that way I have enough. I don't have to keep worrying about reordering. GAC 900 as well. But you know what's funny is I was just talking to, his name's Alex from Jacquard. He might be sending me some Dynaflow and something else called Airfix? Yeah, Airfix. And so it might replace this and paint, and we'll be able to do that and dye fabrics and stuff like that without any heat gun involved or trying to, you know, having to heat set it. So, sorry, I know I went off on a tangent there. What about pineapple ham pizza? K1. You're crazy, bro. People be eating that, though. Leftover pizza with the extra buffalo sauce from Chick-fil-A is bomb. Oh, hell yeah. Man, you guys are all hungry or what, man? Here, you guys are funny. Let's see what else we got. Devin Bucks in the building. What's good? Devin Bucks on YouTube. Let's see. A. Paul D said also take into account the client high profile with $ clients can usually be charged more. You know, I just try to charge everybody the same amount, to be honest with you, A. Paul D. I just try to charge everybody a day rate because, you know, you're right that can happen, but then at the same time, like, I just want to make sure that the relationship stands too. So I don't want to overcharge anybody, and it would suck even more if they found out my rate by like DMing me through another DM or something, and then they're like, yo, why'd you say on IG that you're charging $100 a day and you're trying to charge me $5? That's one of those want to get away moments. You sure as hell can't say, yo, because you're richer than everybody. That's the one surefire way to get him to never come back, or her to never come back ever again. Because you're richer than everybody, dog. Like, you should be like 5 or 6 bills a day. Yeah, I just try to serve everybody in the same direction, you know. But then that also means that if my prices go up next year, you know, then it's because of I feel fit that, you know, I've got more experience under my belt, and everyone would experience that. Just like for example, gas. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go to the gas station and be like, yo, I'm Usher, so I need this gas for like $1.50. You know, they're gonna say, all right, cool, bro. Well, hopefully you find out, because it's not gonna happen there. If that makes sense. You know, that's just my thinking about it. Superman, the brushes I'm using today, I left links for all of them, bro. They're all on the top, man. Customs by Carl. What's good, homie? Patreon family in the building. Carl, did you get that figured out with the sewing machine, bro? And by the way, I think I asked, who was it? Roger today from the Patreon group asked me about some stuff with the same machine. I was going to ask you, if you have Facebook, if you can add me on Facebook, then what I can do is I can direct you to and I think Ryan's in that group, I believe Hervel's in that group. Got some of the Patreon members in this group that will help you with your sewing machine issues as well. So if I don't figure it out, we're going to get it figured out somehow. But you definitely have support here, man. How many times am I going to try to dip that into the acetone there? Oh man, this is taking for a minute now, huh? Because you got to get all the little dots too. I also got to make sure that each one of the Gucci logos has 2 dots right next to each other. You can't miss a dot. So there's a lot of like little detail work that goes on here at the end. And before I give it back to the client, I got to make sure that all of that stuff is accounted for. You can't tell somebody that, yo, I totally missed that spot, or I didn't see that blotchy G there, that was my bad. So once they get it, they get it. So check it, then double check it. And if you're bad with details, triple check it, yo. I'll sit there, I can't find the remote for like 5 minutes, and then I'll realize it was sitting right next to me. If you're that kind of a dude, triple check it. That's the way to go. Yo guys, can we get a quick I didn't even ask you guys this. Can I get a quick roll call, man? Can we get some IG shout outs real quick? Can you guys throw up your Instagrams real quick if you're in the building? I'd love for you guys to see each other's work, man. There's a lot of customizers here. If you're not a customizer, all good. You're a sneakerhead if you're on here, so throw your IG up as well. Let me get an IG roll call. Let's get it. Last couple of dots here. I feel it. I feel it. I feel good about this. Man. This was... I think the orange does not sit well on the blue either. So if I'm just kind of touching spots up, then you immediately, after it dries, you can still see the blue underneath it. So it's like... I guarantee you're going to have to go over that piece again. I bet somebody like Chad Can't Color could do this in like a day, dude. Probably doesn't even need a damn stencil. Damn you, Chad. You finished the controller at least 3 times faster than me. Alright, little dots here, trying to get the little sides out. I know the angle is not so great here, guys, so I apologize for it. But it's just a nice, easy way for me to knock these out real quick since they're sitting on the easel here. By the way, if you need the easel, this is from Liquid Kicks. You can get it from Liquid Kicks, which is, I believe his website is LK Top Coats. And y'all could use my discount on that. The discount code should just be Feel Good. But if you're there, you should probably pick up some scratch resistant sealer too. So they ship together, save a little bit on shipping. I feel so good to see that it's finally coming together. And I'm really happy I got to share this experience with you guys too, you know? At the same time, you guys are learning, and I guess you guys are getting a first-hand kind of look at like what something like this entails too. I think it was Superman Lover that just did his PlayStation controller as well, right? Superman Lover, you're here, right? Patreon fam. You just did a controller as well, isn't that right? By the way, guys, if you don't mind, let's all welcome Superman Lover to the Patreon family. He is the most recent person who joined us, so just want to give him a quick shout out. I think you're seeing real quick that this is a very happy community, man. A lot of positive energy here, and we need that nowadays, you know. This is what will bring you to more productive things in life, a positive environment. Whew. Okay, so the Dye Lab asked, where do you buy the Princeton brushes? Let me throw up a link again, guys. I believe I could drop this link on. One second. Does this work? Control V maybe. So I know for sure I could drop it on the Twitch here. Just drop that on the Twitch there. Let me see, under multi-stream, can I do that? On multi-stream I cannot do that. Is anybody on Twitch that can help me out real quick just to drop the links onto YouTube real quick? If you guys don't mind. Speed Infusion, are you there, man? Marquez Spam, you're such a jerk, bro. Can you help me out and just drop that thing on? Speed Infusion be killing me, dog. He comes on here just to make fun of me. That's shady. Alright, so SF not going to survive as well. It's expensive, yeah. That's why I don't live in SF, man. Graham, it's expensive to live out there. I think it's the most expensive city in the United States, if not New York. One of those two spots. I know LA is pretty close. Where do you buy the Princeton brushes? Dye Lab, I just put the link up there for you. Are they different from the Angelus brand brushes? I would say so. I mean, every time I use the brushes, I always clean them because I feel like the quality on them is, man, I don't know, they just have a nice brush when I use them. Anytime I need to like lay out stuff like this, you know, it just feels like it's very smooth to the touch. So I prefer these brushes. The handle's comfortable, it's nice. So yeah. What else we got? Let's see. Superman Lover said, good question. I'd be looking for Angelus brushes, but they'd be sold out. Yeah, so again, guys, Superman Lover, I just left the link for both. There's two different links, it says, for Princeton brushes. One of them is for the flat angular style, like these guys, like this. And then the other one is to more of the finer, like detail brushes like this. Very thin. This is like a 20-0 liner. So they're called liner brushes. These are called angular shaders. They're supposed to have different purposes. For me, I didn't know that because I'm just self-taught. So I like this brush and I just kind of stuck with it for detailing. So that's why I'm using this brush for even line work, And keep in mind, my line work here is not like thin. Like I can definitely use this brush for line work as well. For example, if I've got like a very thin little streak that I want to do here, you can use this brush and accomplish that, because the brush bristles are very thin. It's almost like writing on it with a pen. But you got to just make sure that the brush is also like well kept. Every time you use it, you got to make sure that you cleaned it appropriately. Otherwise it'll break up and it won't be a good brush. See, so it's just very clean, thin line work. So I left both links there for you guys in case you guys need that. Thank you again, Carl. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're usually on late for East Coasters. Yeah, man, I figured, but with the family being quarantined in the house and everybody's just kind of making do, the only time that I have to jump on usually is in the evening times, and I think it works out pretty good for most people, and if it doesn't, at least now we have the ability to replay the stream on YouTube. So if you haven't already, this will replay on youtube.com/feelgoodthreads, and that way you'll have an opportunity to just check it out again. And if you missed, like part 1 or part 2 or part 4, they're all on YouTube now. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. Just kind of looking over anything left over. I'm going to give this a little bit of a chance to dry. I don't like touching it when it's kind of semi-dried because that's when I usually smudge the paint. I think I got like 1 or 2 more stars on this side that I could see. Definitely need to have a little bit more paint on top of them. Get that same color together. My goal is try to get every single star and GG to look very solid orange, like have no kind of blue behind it, because the blue is very strong. You can really see it. It really protrudes out. And that annoys me. I remember one time I was making a Spider-Man custom on some Air Force Ones, and I used the actual comic book. I think it was edition number 15. It was a really famous cover, and I was so proud of my work. So I posted it in one of my Facebook groups. It was called Painter Thread. Got a lot of elite artists in that group, and the guy that I consider like the GOAT of customizing was Dan Mosh Customs. He commented, and I was just like, still kind of a new customizer then, and I was just so happy to see that he commented. And he wrote, "Man, these look great. You missed a streak of white. You should have laid it out a little bit thicker to kind of cover what was in the background, because you could still see what was in the background of that little one white streak behind where Spider-Man was." And he had noticed that one white streak out of the whole, situation, the whole custom. And I was like, I don't know how to feel. I feel like it's like a backhanded compliment, but I know he meant it as, like as a compliment and just a word of advice, more like a tip. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm just happy to see that one of my customizers that I've been following for a long time actually commented on my custom. That's a really cool feeling. You never know who's watching your work. That's why I encourage you guys to put it all out on Instagram, You're missing broad opportunities if you're not using social media right now. It's free networking. It's free marketing. And it's more opportunities there. Like celebrities have DM'd me on Instagram of all things. And I'm sitting here like, I gotta double check this. I gotta see if there's a blue check next to this person, or this is a wannabe somebody, Because obviously that happens nowadays. Alright, let me let that dry out a little bit, guys. Alright, let's see what we got going on in the chat room here. Yeah, so sorry again, K1, man. I'll try to get on a little bit earlier for the East Coast folks. Exactly what you said, just Graham. GT Chong said, oh, you mean painting it all orange, then leaving the negative stencils on and painting it all blue? Exactly. You can do either way. Like what you just said, Flight School Custom said he would have done. Painted the whole thing orange, and then on top of that, he would put the Gucci stencils. He would have laid these Gucci stencils out. Not this way, but the opposite way, the negative stencils. And so he would have had the GGs on there. He would have had everything then covered up, stars and GGs. Then painted whatever rest was blue, and then peeled everything off. What I was saying was the controller was already white. So first thing I would have done is exactly what you said, taken the negatives, the GGs and the stars, and I would have placed them all down onto the controller after I sanded them. I would have placed them all down. Then I would have hit the whole controller with blue. And so when I peeled all the GGs off and the stars, they would have been peeled off. They would have been white still underneath. And I'm already sitting here hand painting them. So I would have just hand painted white GGs and stars. I think that would have been the best way to go. Because at the end of the day, I'm still touching up here with hand painting, so we might as well just jump straight into the hand painting. And again, both perspectives are correct. Flight School said he would have painted the whole thing orange. That's perfectly fine. That's just another alternative to what we're talking about. This is a perfect example how you can say that we can get the same controller by 2 or 3 different people, and they could use completely different methods, which is the beauty about doing what we do. Is somebody can give you advice, but it doesn't necessarily need to be the only way to do it. Even like today, I'm painting this controller. I bet some people don't use like sandpaper or GAC 200 or adhesion promoter. There's so many different, I guess, steps and precautions I take because I don't want this paint to chip. I want it to be nice and solid. I want the person to be happy with the work. I want to get work back and, return work. I want people to be happy about the work and say, hey, I want another controller or whatever. That's how you do it. You just properly prep, you properly paint, and you properly seal the steel up. Alright, so let me check the comments real quick. Can we get a full reconstruction of Jordan 1s to off-whites? 2K Dev, that's a great question, man. I might jump into that soon, but if I did, the Patreon members would probably get that video first because we are teaching all the reconstruction stuff on Patreon. The reason being that I have to pay a cameraman. He's coming 3 or 4 days. Doing a pair of shoes doesn't take a day. It takes normally, it could take up to a week and a half. It just depends on everyone's speed. But yeah, I have to pay somebody to come and instruct. I have to instruct, and then they're filming, and then they still have to edit. So it takes some time for that. If you'd like to join, though, it's under patreon.com/feelgoodthreads, And like I tell a lot of people, it's like a cup of coffee per month. The lowest tier is $6, man. Since we're speaking about deconstructing and recon, the Jordan 11 recon video, I know Flight School, you asked about it the other day. I talked to Alex, he was here on Thursday, and Alex is almost done. He's just putting the music on and getting the final stuff ready on it, guys. So thank you guys again for that patience you've been exhibiting over the last couple of weeks for that. I know you guys are eager. What we're gonna do, by the way, is, because Patreon's a little different when it comes to how you can post videos, we are going to, once we get all of them ready and posted, I'm probably going to repost them a second time on the Patreon channel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post them from part 1 all the way down to part 5. So then you guys don't have to go searching for them. They'll be in sequential order. We'll have them all uploaded and ready to go. All right. So, you guys will not have to go bouncing back and forth. I know a couple of you guys asked about that. Like, yo, have you, released part 3 or part 5 or whatever part it was? The only reason why we haven't done it is because we've got so much footage on that recon, on that Jordan 11, that we had to make sure that we gave you the proper value for your money. So instead of doing a 15-minute video on how to do a reconstruction, which is, I mean, come on guys, that's impossible to show you guys in 15 minutes how to do a recon. Well, we sprawled it out to, I think it's going to be altogether 5 or 6 videos, and they're all a healthy dose. They're about 30 minutes each, and so then that way you're not getting bored, and you're good to go. So, the Deuce Wild 22, thank you so much for subscribing, sir, or ma'am. And then you subscribed from YouTube, I believe. That's dope. That is awesome, yo. Let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to give it a minute to dry because I forgot where I touched it right now. But I'll show you guys from here what it looks like. Let me pull this up a little bit closer so y'all could see. Now you guys can see that the print is getting really refined and there's no fuzzy spots. But man, you guys can also see that it took a long time to get there. Right? But we are, I mean, I would say this is about 85% there. Got his nickname on the side. Off-white style. New York Knicks themed Gucci print. I would have never in 1,000 years thought about combining the Knicks and Gucci print. And now I'm over here doing it on a controller. Crazy world, huh? Alright, so let me put this joint down real quick. Let me let it breathe out a little bit. What else we got? Oh, hey Paul D, you're looking at the baby project is definitely coming soon. I'm just working on the artwork for that, Graham said exactly what I was thinking, man. I think I'm gonna probably post that on Patreon first to give them a sneak peek on the whole thing. I do want to give them priority. They support a lot, and man, I would say about let's see, 10 out of 40. I'd say about 25% of you guys that are in here is Patreon members, man. So thank you guys for that love, man. That's crazy. Webb's Custom Kicks is back in the building. What's good, Webbs? It's called the rush rate. Yeah, for real, right? There is a rush rate though. I mean, I did a rush rate the other day for this rapper named Yellow Wolf. He wanted an outfit, and he's on Sunday calls me and says, hey, I need this outfit for a music video, and that's at 12 p.m. on Tuesday. And I'm at the beach on Sunday getting the message that he needs it by Tuesday. So yeah, you can tack on a rush rate. That's a whole different situation than charging somebody who's rich more money. I would rather, if they need it, because these guys are always in a rush for something. They always need something last minute. And that doesn't mean that you need to get all super stressed out about it. You can charge a rush rate. Usually the rush rate is about 25% of whatever you charge. So like for example, if it's 100 for your day rate, then you put on another 25 bucks on that. Trying to get in all these little cracks and really make sure that we are done finalizing this. I hope you guys like that I outlined the orange a little bit here with the panel. I thought that looked kind of cool. Plus it gave me an opportunity to make it a little bit more drippy looking. I love painting drip print, man. I don't know what it is. It's very soothing for me to try to like replicate something that looks drippy. Oh man, what else we got going in the Gotcha 6 in the building? What's up, Gotcha 6? Maze Patrick, you like the Gucci Ghost, man? Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, Gucci Ghost was, I think, a good pick for this, man, because they wanted to do Gucci, and I was like, yo, you guys got to give me creative control on what kind of print. I already knew working with all these different panels, and then even just masking off this little black section, guys. When I took that paint off, there was adhesive all over it, dude. I was so bummed. I was like, man, this is gonna take like an hour just to clean up adhesive. And so I was sitting here with isopropyl alcohol 50%, and I was just dipping Q-tip after Q-tip, just cleaning off all the grime. So this was definitely a learning experience for me, you know what I mean? Can't post it on YouTube, message too long. Oh, that's probably what happened. Okay, gotcha. I posted it, but they're gonna have to copy and paste it. Oh, damn, that sucks. Okay, well, thanks anyways, Graham. I appreciate that, man, for sure. The Reebok Answers, huh? That's an interesting, the best model for a Spider-Man custom as far as base. The Reebok Answers. Man, I just did that shoe, and I'll tell you, the Reebok Answers are not an easy shoe to work with, dude. Like, I could totally imagine that being a good base, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, super thin. When it's super thin like that, it's usually difficult to do like the webbing. Like, you got to be real spot on with the webbing as well. But I can, if you execute that right, that would be a really, really cool custom, dude. Have you done that custom before on a Iverson before, Graham? Interesting that you came out with that idea so quickly. I'm over here like, give me 3 days to think about it, man. I'll get back to you. Graham's like, Allen Iverson's. True. All right, bro. This guy can read the future or something. Speed Infusions, put up the Discord, man. If I forget the Discord one more time, Speed Infusion, you need to come over personally and sock me in the face. Guys, we got a Discord that we are inviting everybody to right now. We are trying to take the world of customs over to Discord. So if you guys have not already, Speed Infusion just put out a Discord link. Please join us, especially if you guys have custom work that you guys would like to show. We've got a lot of talent in this group and not enough eyeballs on you guys. Third layer of this keeping it Gucci here. Now this part they didn't ask for it, and I'm just freestyling it. And to be honest, I probably didn't have to do it, but every time I do something Gucci, I always put keeping it Gucci somewhere. So we're gonna put it on here too. We're not gonna break tradition, right? I love how much paint this little brush holds. It's just enough to hold and make nice clean lines. I could drop it right on top of the other layer and I could see it fill in better. If you're wondering how come it's so stable, I've got both of my elbows like literally holding me up, pressing down on the table, so this guy isn't shaking around everywhere. It's nice and steady, and then I could work with it. I really need to get some music in here, man. I'm getting tired of hearing myself talk. Maybe after this CCI is done, we'll drop a little bit of Hasib on. Man, last time YouTube caught me playing Hasib, I was like, yo, you mind giving me back that revenue, bro? If they flag it, then you gotta pay whoever's music you're playing. And lucky for me, that's my little brother. Almost there, guys. You just gotta knock that little eye out there. Y'all see that? Just that little eye in the little section here, but it's in the crease. In the crease can be a little difficult because you gotta really get exactly in that spot. There's very little room for error. There we go. Got it. Sick. I think I missed a little. It's not a comma, it's an apostrophe, right? Just lay that out a little bit. There we go. That looks nice. Looking for just any small fixes. Anything that could look a little bit cleaner. There we go. Sick. That feels good. Feels almost finalized. What I'm going to do after this is just take a double look, double check, make sure that all the orange looks clean, and then we'll lay out some scratch resistant sealer. Let me know what you guys think. Are we there? Anything I need to fix there in the front? Most of it is looking pretty filled in for me. I don't see anything that really stands out. I think what I do need to do though is, and this is a good time to show you guys this little liner again. I got to get into this little crevice here, and that's why I got this little boy here. Little bad boy over here is gonna just run in, and it's like just the perfect size to squeeze into this little control section. And then I gotta just do the other side as well. Cool, let's see if we gotta finalize any little drips. You can do it now. This little liner is really nice with that. Very thin pieces, you can use this. You guys could see this is almost like the perfect pocket size for like these little G's here. Sick. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of let that breathe in. We're gonna start getting the matte finisher ready so we can finish the custom up. I'm giving it just a little bit of time to cure because I don't want to touch it yet. And then once it cures, we'll just do one more take, just see if there's any spots that need any extra attention before we lay out the sealer here, okay? So as that's happening, let's take a quick look and see what's going on in the chat room. I just read Graham's GT challenge said, what if he's an angry gamer like me because I slam my controller after I lose? Hey man, that's on you, bro. That's unfortunately I can't control what you guys do after I send the artwork out. I hope he's not like you, man. But I know that when my younger brother and I used to play, that fool was like that too, man. He would jump on the damn system, and I'd have to calm him down because I'm like, yo, dude, like, we ain't got money like that where you could just jump on it and then we're gonna go get another system. You know, that's it. Like, that's a wrap. So, yeah, that is funny though, Graham. What else we got in the chats here? What if he's an angry gamer? Okay. Do you get a real patent leather from... You know what? I haven't gotten my patent leather from District Customs. I did get it from one of my buddies over here in LA, but unfortunately I think he's closed down now. So I don't have a good resource for you to check the patent leather, but I can advise you that it should be about 4 to 5 ounces. You can definitely ask District Leather Customs. Do I have his link? I think do you have his link already? You should have his link, right? Oh, you're doing some Concords. Yeah, so you need that black patent leather, right? Yeah, I could double check, man. If I could find a spot, I'll definitely let you know. And Flight School, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I think that you saw how much energy went into getting this one done. This was definitely not like a walk in the park kind of a project. I could still see little spots of blue that I got to fix. So, you know, I can even just go ahead and coat this guy down, and then we can put the blue down afterwards because it's not going to affect the project too much. It's very minuscule. You know what I mean? What else we got? From 2000 for myself. Oh, man. Yeah, that's what sucks about the old school shoes like 2000. I mean, they're 20 years old. So you got to expect that they're going to rip or start to deteriorate or decay soon. You know what I mean? I had those Jordan 6 infrareds on the other day, and those shits collapsed while I was wearing them. The whole thing crumbled on me. You know, but, you know, they're not made to last for that long. They're shoes, you know. We got to wear them, and then they go out. So, gives me a DBZ Goku kind of a vibe. Yeah, I agree with that too, man. Because DBZ is that orange and blue as well. I think it's a cool color concept. You know, thank God he chose a color concept that was nice. You know, I could also imagine like a black controller with neon pink and neon greens, like neons, would look dope too. I'm gonna save that for another project, hopefully in the next lifetime, because this one was too much. But yeah, I think there's a lot of different colorways this would have looked really cool. So, turned down a job on some Barclays from 2008 for a midsole repaint. Yeah, I stopped doing midsole repaints, man. It's a very, very difficult position I'm in because I get a lot of friends and family that want midsole repaints. But you know, I got so many projects on my hands, guys. Unfortunately, I've just told everyone I'm booked. I just cannot catch up to my demand, unfortunately. And I'm blessed to say that because a lot of people are not in that situation. So, yeah. No, just some model screams webs. Oh, okay, that's talking to webs. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, it is a sleek type of shoe for Spider-Man for sure, man. I agree with you on that. And it looks good. I like the whole sleek vibe. I almost feel like the Yeezy 500 would be a pretty cool, because it kind of like goes down like that too, very aerodynamic as a Spider-Man custom. And it's got little panels, so that would look cool. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Outcast, yes. De Jesus is always coming out with some really cool stuff. He's a great customizer as well. But he's just, it seems like a very honest, true guy. And I just appreciate that guy's work. Before I was even into customs, I was following De Jesus Customs as well. And I just like that he spends a lot of time on the quality of his customs. You know, quality a lot of times, it can't be just like, it can't just be like developed overnight. You have to work and put the time in for it. And there's no shortcuts usually. Like if a customizer is using stencils and then they don't clean up afterwards, it's usually like visible, you know? Alright, so I got this all set. Let's start to there we go. Sorry, I had to finish that little drip up right. It bothers me when a drip doesn't look like an actual drip. It probably shouldn't, but it's all good. Hey, I'm sending you my Xbox controller. I'm gonna throw that shit in the trash. So go ahead, Speed Infusion, please send it through. Graham, y'all are killing me, man. This is the last one, man. I'll never do this again. Shout out to this guy for teaching me a lesson to never do any more PS5 controllers, yo. This man got me in my feelings. Never again, dude. Let's see what else we got here. Just little spots, you know. This is not big, but it's going to end up showing like it's not a nice highlighter, kind of an orange. So any spots that look like they're have overspray. Oh man, it looks like we went out. Did we go out, guys? Are we back? Sorry about that, guys. It's been happening a lot. I gotta figure out what to do. If you guys are back, somebody let me know. Okay, cool, we're back. Dope. That's so weird. So you saw that just kind of went out, right, Speed Infusion? Do you think that's a computer or what's the deal? Oh man, this part gets super stressful. Like really trying to hold this thing and gotta get a nice angle on this little area here. There we go. It's your internet. Oh man, I'm about to change internets, bro. I checked the other day. All I gotta say is Comcast has charged me a different rate every single month for the last 3 months. I don't even know why. It doesn't even make sense. They charge me like 70, then 90. Like a $20 difference? I need explanations, yo. There should not be a $20 difference on the internet. Like I didn't order the UFC fight on the internet yesterday. It should not be it should be the same amount every month. So after this I gotta call them. If somebody's got a good provider, let me know. Got to make sure all of these that are dripping are nice and solid. Really want to make sure those stand out. Cool, that looks good. Got a little spot here. I think that looks all good. Guys, I think I'm ready to shoot. Crazy. Crazy. I think we're ready to conclude this. Finally get to finalize. I like that. I missed a couple of small G's here, and I think we're going to get that airbrush ready. I'm glad to see all of the G's look like they're the same color now though, which is a great thing. Now you can see how important this pinky finger is for me. It really holds a lot of weight when it comes to painting. Helps me keep balance. Alright, y'all, let me get that airbrush ready. Whew! Somebody disconnected me from AOL, huh? That's old school right there. Alright, let's get that matte finisher out. Man, I really don't want to lay it down on anything because I'm just so like conscious of where everything's being painted. But I think we're okay. I think I'm going to just go ahead and lay it down like this for a quick sec. Let's lay it down for a sec. Let's let it breathe. As that goes through, let's get this joint ready. Because of course, it's not cleaned. Who would have known? I was working on the blue section earlier today, so I knew it had some blue paint in there. Where are we at here with the cleaner? I need that little cleaner. Yeah, why would you be around when I need you? Oh, there you go. Man, this thing saves my life on so much stuff. Really breaks all that airbrush down for me. Cool. Alright. You guys notice I have a bunch of Q-tips here. Let me show you guys how many Q-tips I have here. These are all Q-tips that I've been using just to detail out, you know, all of the buttons that had extra paint on them, stuff like that. So this actual, where did they go? Here they go, right here. They're really dope, actually. This was a pack that my wife picked up because I asked her to pick up some Precise, And of course she comes and gets me this instead. But it was dope because it comes with this. This is even more precise than precise. Let me show you guys how thin that is, man. These joints right here are like super sharp at the ends. So they actually work out great because I'll show you what stuff that we need to clean off is. How do I hold this without messing anything up? All the buttons on the sides still need to be cleaned up a little bit, so I'll take just a little bit of Prepare and Deglazer. Where's my Prepare and Deglazer at? Y'all know what Prepare and Deglazer is. Here it is. I'll just dip a little bit of that into that on that Q-tip, and I'll start to break off or break down that excess paint. So just for those of you that need help detail-wise, look at how many Q-tips I've got. I've got a bunch of them. You know, once one edge gets all messed up, you got to flip it. So it does take a number of Q-tips. Man, I can only imagine on my projects I probably use, could be sometimes a couple of hundred Q-tips when I'm detailing things out. Just all depends on the project. For this one, you can see already here I've got about 15 or 20 of them. And it's real important that we get this completely cleaned out, because if we're going to lay that clear coat on it and you still have blue paint, oh man, that's not good. You're going to be splattering bluish paint all over your work. So before we do that and mess the whole 5 days up, we're going to make sure that this doesn't spray out any blue. There we go. Would you say you have a signature style? How important do you think it is to have one? Bro, that's such a good question, man. Outcast, that's a great question. You know, I don't have a signature style. And I actually spoke to somebody about that the other day on my Facebook chat group. He was like my best friend from elementary school. And it just randomly came about, man. He messaged me and he said, hey, man, you know, I hope you don't take this offensively, but I used to do a lot of art, like sell and make a lot of art. And the reason why he said he was successful when he was doing it is because he had his own signature style. So what are we talking about signature style? Like, I'll give you guys an example of somebody when I think signature style. Right away, the first person that comes to my head is Serato. Any of you guys know who Serato is? Serato's style, this very eclectic kind of a style where he uses a lot of neons. He does a lot of drip work. He does a lot of cartoon characters, anime. The thing about that is, I mean, it don't matter. I'm going to still talk to myself. Are you guys there? I don't think anybody's there, huh? Okay, I'm going to try to restart this then. Give you guys one more chance. Anybody there? If not, I'm going to restart the feed. Armani, what's good, man? Did you just jump on? I don't know if you just jumped on or not. Lost the stream. It's weird, man. Sometimes the stream goes out. Sorry about that, guys.